So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their own 22. From the gun, it's Breeze. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to wide open, complete. Touchdown, New Orleans. A.J. Green, 78 yards. And the Saints are pouring it on. And partner, sayonara to Randy Moss's 07 record. That is the 24th receiving touchdown this year for him. He's the new king.
Well, always remember how Randy did it. Going deep, going over the top of people, and catching those touchdown passes. But what we've witnessed here today, what we've witnessed throughout this season, great new memories have been created by the new king.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here? Ryan now off the bootleg. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. Here's Ryan. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You would horoscope it. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Michael Thomas on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Saints just continue to roll. Lutz with the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That'll be the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes us across the 15 to the 17. Call it a 6-yard gain. Still plenty of work to do coming up. 3rd and 14.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
3rd and long. It's Ryan. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things.
He's got it at the 15. Touchdown, New Orleans. A.J. Green, 70 yards. And the Saints are pouring it on. I don't even know what to say anymore. I mean, I've lost track of how many times he's been in the end zone. This is just flat unbelievable.
Doesn't matter whether you have an abacus, a calculator, just old-fashioned pencil and paper trying to total it up. The number is staggering. What a performance. This man knows how to find the end zone and make it count.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. Lutz good on the extra point. And a rout is on here in this first half. And we can break that down pretty easily. One play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now Ryan. Sanu with a grab over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains. On first down, Ryan. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 15 more yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just toweling it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half. And you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest. We're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series? Potentially.
We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
Breeze again here on 2nd and 10. He's going to go for a big play downfield. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas on his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Saints just continue to roll. Lutz with the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. That's caught over the middle. Hooper. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On 3rd down, Ryan drops it off for Coleman. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, a 22. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Going underneath, it's Coleman. He'll get a couple yards on that one. And it'll be a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. And Bryant's kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So they're still down, but they are able to salvage 3 here heading into the lockers.
This is what you work on from the beginning of training camp. Heading into the half, put some points on the board. No matter what the score says at that point, you've accomplished what you set out to do.
And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. So we've reached halftime here on the Thanksgiving night. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Matt Ryan and the offense heading back onto the field. And he's looking to take much better care of the football here in half 2 after 3 first-half interceptions.
We don't have to just look strictly at the numbers here. You know what else happens to a team when you turn it over 3 times like that? It erodes confidence in you. And it erodes confidence in the offense. And now you have the defensive guys looking over and saying, what is going on here? And instead of playing for the team, they're playing angry and mad at their teammates.
And his throw is going to be incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Demario Davis there on the stop.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
He's got Sanu. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in his performance.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
On 2nd down, here's Ryan. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Here's Ryan. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one.
He's got a man. Complete. 20. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A.J. Green, an even 90 yards. And the Saints are pouring it on. And I think it's safe to say we won't call many touchdown passes longer than that this year, partner.
No, I would agree with that totally. And right now, you're looking at an offensive coordinator. Conservative would not go next to his name. Risk taker, definitely, because he valued the opportunity to create a big play against what could have been disaster if they end up getting sacked or fumbling the ball in the shadow of their own goal line.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
On 3rd down, Ryan. And this is going to be incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Breeze now on 1st down. Steps away to his left. Jackson's got it over the middle. Deshaun Jackson off to the races. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Deshaun Jackson, 92 yards. And the Saints just continue to roll. Well, they were back in the shadows of their own goalpost. And that flipped quickly.
So much for playing it safe. I mean, the conservative, easy call, run the football, take care of it, create some space, pump the ball away. But no, let's throw it. And sometimes a defense's aggressiveness is used against them because when you got people backed up, your natural inclination is to try and really force them back, and sometimes they get burned that way.
And they got burned there. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
They will run again with Coleman. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. A penalty is a result of that hit there.
Now Ryan on 1st down. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah,
Ryan hit, and he lost the football. The Saints say they have it, and they do.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet there are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. That's going to be caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A.J. Green, 42 yards. And the forced fumble defensively leads to 6 points for the Saints. And that, boys and girls, is an NFL record 6th touchdown reception. The record has stood since 1950. What a game.
How about that? Because so many things have to go right in order for it to happen. Not just him catching the passes. Someone delivering it accurately. Offensive line giving them time to throw the ball. A true team record. But he stands above it because he was on the receiving end of so many great plays.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but over. Thrown out of his reach and incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Ryan. It's caught, Jones. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Ryan to Jones, the Falcon connection there for a first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They go play action here on first down. And they drop him for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the call. Well, they'll get the yardage, but they hate to see him take that hit.
You're always trying to cool off a big-time guy throwing the ball, but you have to know when to back off, pull up, and not hit him. There's the penalty.
Coleman. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
They run the play fake to Coleman. Now Ryan. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 15 yards through the air and a first down. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
Throwing now, Ryan on first down. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10 now. Ryan. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
To throw is Ryan. This is caught. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up the first.
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Trey Hendrickson in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Off the bootleg. Ryan. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Ryan toward the pylon, caught. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And Bryant's kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So his 3rd field goal of the ballgame brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And 7s, and probably even 8s. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear if they want to close this gap.
Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other...
They've got his man complete. Past the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A.J. Green, 75 yards. And the Saints are pouring it on. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Ryan. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. Mohamed Sanu with nobody ahead of him. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. A big play on 3rd down for the Falcons. 47 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Back now here live in New Orleans. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A good pickup there, a 22.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the 2nd score there. Here's Ryan to throw.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And back at the 8 now, 3rd and goal. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And that is incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
That 4th quarter, maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. And Bryant's kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. All right, how has he done it? 4 touchdowns in this contest. He's been around the end zone in particular, pretty much uncoverable.
And you know that I typically take things from a defensive perspective. I'm not going to do that this time. Let's just praise him. My goodness, 4.
This is caught at the 20. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A.J. Green. He flat out can't be stopped. And the Saints just continue to roll.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know they're playing people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tough.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed. Because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's third down. From the gun on third down, Ryan. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. First catch of the game for the rookie Sutton. It's a first down. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing. Now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out.
Let's go. Well, he challenged the... It did not pay off.
End of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw again, Ryan. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for Mohamed Sanu there. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To throw again is Ryan. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A.J. Green finding the end zone yet again. And the Saints are pouring it on. And that touchdown catch, Charles, it breaks the single-game record for receiving touchdowns.
And what a perfect match. A quarterback who loves to throw it and a receiver who knows how to go out and get them. A brand-new record established today, and all these fans who are on that side are going to go home happy.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That'll be taken in the air. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game. This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, second and 10. Second and 10, it's Ryan again. And Jones has it over the middle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts it towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Again on second and 10, it's Ryan. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Call it a gain of 5. And just like that, it's third down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Throwing again, Ryan. Getting it out left side to Sanu. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
From midfield now, here's Ryan. Sanu with a grab over the middle. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. This looks like a free play for Ryan. On the screen, this is Coleman. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. So offside's the call, and they understandably decline it.
And this is why we're seeing more and more teams hiring that one coach to the staff that's in charge of all these things. This one's minor. It's pretty easy to figure out. But all the game management stuff, trying to help out the head coach in his decision-making process.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they got a few work.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. From the gun, it's Ryan. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. Call it a pickup of 7, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And this is off the left upright. And it comes back. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way. Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to lead.
And this is caught, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A.J. Green, he flat out can't be stopped, and the Saints just continue to roll. Lutz with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. And they come back now, start over again, and grind it out.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. From the shotgun, Ryan. It's caught over the middle, Hooper. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. That'll put him over 150 yards receiving now. Quite a ball game and a first down. And on that last catch, Charles, he tops the 150-yard mark. It's one thing when your wideout gets that. When your tight end gets it, it's quite another.
We keep seeing the evolution of that position, don't we? We've seen where it's gone from strictly as a blocker to a guy who caught a few passes to now an integral part of the passing game, sometimes the primary receiver, because a lot of these guys have wide receiver skills, and we're seeing that on display here. Just think about the guys of the past looking back at this game and saying, sure wish that was me. I'd love to have gone out for those types of passes.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now it's Ryan. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he's taken down inside the 30. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Now Ryan on first down. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Cameron Jordan in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
On 2nd down, Ryan. His throw incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Ryan. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
When the big guy rumbles down the center of the field and he gains leverage on a guy trying to cover him, it is really, really tough for the defender to get through him to make a play on the football. That's why guys love to throw that route. Down the middle, throw it deep, and let the big guy go get it.
That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily.
And this is caught. Well, they get 1 back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Bryant tacks on the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And they're going to have lousy starting field position as he's out of bounds at his 6-yard line.
Anytime you feel the kickoff inside your own end zone, you've got to be decisive about whether you're bringing it out or not. Sometimes that indecision can really cost you. That may have been what happened on that play.
Breeze is looking to throw. And Breeze is going to go down in the end zone, a safety. And Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about. Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Now a play fake here on first down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And the Saints signal for another timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Operating from the gun, Ryan. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So the sack pushes him back, and now third and long for Ryan and the Falcons. From the gun, Ryan. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Von Bell. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offensive coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field, so play calling may come.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the offense will get the ball back and be touchdown, and with that, this game is over. Well, Charles, it's one thing